We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no coasting, and everything is going to be all right. We do this thing on a Wednesday, hump day night, 2 o'clock in the morning. Y'all know how we do. It's the Daily Go Get 'Em Show. I'm your host on 752, aka Omar with the rrr. And tonight we're talking about listening to your doctor or knowing your own body. Yeah, it's one of those things, man. It's one of those things. You know, like there's a lot of distrust that people have for the medical profession and for doctors nowadays. I'm sure I don't have to tell y'all that, but there's a lot of people who really refuse to go to doctors or listen to doctors' advice because there's been some shady stuff going on over the years, and especially since COVID, I think a lot of respect was lost for the medical profession, and now we have to deal with what we have to deal with, you know. But even before COVID, I knew a lot of people that always felt like they knew their body, and that's what they would say. So when doctors would try to prescribe medicine for them and things like that, they would say, "Yeah, but I know my body, so I don't think I need to do this, or I don't think I need to do that," or sometimes they don't feel like they need to discontinue something that they may have been doing. So we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. We're going to see how it go. Yes. Let's do this. Now I tried to do this intro last night. I made this little song. Let me see what y'all think about it. Make sure y'all can hear it. All right. Let's get into a little something. Let's go, y'all. Yeah. Word. Yeah. That's what we doing now. Yeah. Word. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I can add a little something to it. Yeah, yeah. 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 Come on, y'all. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Emily Dunlap is in the house. Wow, she about to turn it out. Stacey White now. What's going on, y'all? Come on, y'all. What y'all think so far? Yeah, yeah. I need y'all to keep it going. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Come on, y'all. Hit the like button. Yeah. Hit the like button if y'all feeling it. Yeah, hit the like button if y'all feeling it. Let's go. Yeah, we're going to talk about these doctors and your own body. Yeah, yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah, what? Yeah, what? What we talking about? What we talking about? Yeah, yeah. Come on. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Let that beat kick back in and drop. Yeah, yeah. What? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Come on, y'all. Yeah, yeah. 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 Come on. Yeah, yeah. Come on. Yeah, yeah. Get the popcorn. Yeah, yeah. I break it down. Even though I didn't put in no rhyme, I can do it and insert it at any time. Y'all know how I do when I start to busting. You do a whole lot of rhyme rugged but no cussing. And even if I want to start infusing, y'all understand when I get the mic, I start abusing it. I might throw it down when I'm done with it because I don't want nobody pick it up and start spitting this word. And I do what I got to do each and every day. I got some rhymes for me me to say and display that I put on. Y'all know that y'all are down and somebody should have warned you. And it's down like a submarine. And I understand what you said and what you really mean. And what you meant is have dissent. And I'm making sure I don't be down with the devil. I'm still like a rebel. And anybody who thinks I'm not, y'all don't understand that the things I'm doing is high. And I got a lot to display. So I'm doing that right now, 2 o'clock today. All right. Yo, I don't know. Sometimes you just got to groove by yourself. Bust one. All right. Yo, man, y'all have a good night. Good day. Have a good whatever. And say, yeah. All right. So what y'all think? It was just a little something I put together. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how I do. You know how I do. I was like, look, I'm feeling it. So it's going to happen. And it did. And it did. Where am I putting this? All right. Why it's not letting me? Okay. It's not letting me put it in the browser. And put it back where I got it from. Wait a minute. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Give me just a second. Give me just a second. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, get in there. Get in the browser. It's not letting me drag it right. All right, you know what? Since you want to act like that, I'm gonna do it like this. All right, y'all. Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this is the Daily Go Get It Business Show. Y'all know we do this every single day. We do this every single day. You know what I mean? 2 o'clock in the morning. Sun 752, aka Omar with the rrr. What up, Broden James? What's good? What's good? Hello, world. What's up? What's up? Bro, you was feeling it? That's what's up. That's what's up. I mean, I was really digging this song. I was like, you know how it is. I don't know. I just put it together real quick. And you know how it is when you do something and you really think it's hot because you be into it and you feeling it. And then you play it for somebody else. And then you start hearing all your mistakes like, maybe it wasn't that dope. That's why I was like, let me let them do it. But last night when I tried to play the song, all of a sudden, baby girl came through talking about the world hates her and all of that, and it kind of blew up the whole thing, and it just took it left. So it was like the song never played. But that's what I figured. Like, yeah, I can make my own intro, so I did. What up, Jeff Guapo? All up in the house. What's good, my dude? What's good? And also Cheryl Halsey. Always great to see you. Always great to see you. So what y'all think, man? We're talking about trusting your doctor. Trusting your doctor or knowing your body. Is it possible for you to do both of them? Is it possible for you to do both? Can you trust your doctor and also know your body well enough to take care of yourself to the point where you think that you will be healthy enough to carry on, do your thing, and be okay? Because that's really the challenge of it. You know, just knowing your body can get you in trouble because a lot of people who say that they know their body and they don't like to go to the doctor unless it's an emergency, they're already putting themselves in a position where they could hurt themselves. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they're already putting themselves in a position where they may be in denial of medical care, health, regular routine maintenance. And that's not to say that you don't, drink your good water and take your herbs and all of that kind of stuff, because all of that stuff helps. And people in naturopathic medicine say that that's all you need to do. Vegans believe that that's all you need to do. But there are times when you may need medical attention, and there may be times when it's beyond what you can take care of yourself. So I think that it's probably best to treat it like nature, like have a little balance, maybe medical advice, and also knowing your body or taking care of yourself in that way. Now, we probably can't have this conversation without talking about healthcare and routine procedures based on your age and things like that. Those aren't really things that we can ignore, but there are people out there who ignore them. Now, you know, when you're doing a certain thing and you may believe in what you're doing and maybe you have evidence to support that what you're doing is okay, you may discontinue something or refuse to discontinue something, like let's say smoking or smoking weed or drinking or something like that. Now, we may know in our heart of hearts that those things may not be good for us in excess, but we may be in denial that we do them in excess. And you know, I'm talking to all my weed smokers out there, because you can't tell weed smokers these days that they smoke too much weed. Ever since they announced that weed has some medicinal benefits, weed smokers been off the chain. Now, when I start lying to y'all, please let me know. But you know, weed smokers nowadays be like, oh, I can't, they're smoking weed. I'm treating my body good. I'm getting rid of cancer. I'm like, they didn't say that it got rid of cancer. Yeah, but I'm preventing it. I'm preventing it. But that's not medicinal weed you smoking. That's the recreational. It's still the same thing. Like, it's really not, because, you know, the CBD oil doesn't have as much. It doesn't really have any THC in it. So you don't really get high off of it. You get a sensation, but you don't get. But still, recreational weed has like, it's good for my cataracts. I didn't know you had cataracts. Well, I don't, but I'm preventing them. Glaucoma and all of that. Okay, all right. Like, the bottom line is, you can't tell weed smokers nothing. You can't tell them nothing. What's up? Towsine Cruxy. Fact is, smoke is not good for lungs. And that's a fact. That's a fact that we can't really get around. But people have been finding their way around it. You know? Broden James says that's illegal where I live. It's legal in a lot of places. And I don't think that it should be illegal. But just because it's legal doesn't mean that it's not lethal. Now, I'm not going to stand up here, sit up in here, whatever you want to call it, and say that weed kills people. I'm not saying that. But I am going to advise that anything done in excess is going to make you pay the price. I don't care what it is. You can drink water too much, you'll drown yourself. You suck in too much air, you will suffocate yourself. So, you got to regulate yourself at some point. Let me see. Oh, yeah, we're about to get dressed. We're about to get dressed, Broden. I got you. You know, we ain't gonna do no show. We ain't gonna do no show without the cow bones. Towsing says, like the people who identify as Therian. What's that? I never heard of that. Mandrake. What up, my peoples? Mandrake, what's good? He says, weed smokers are cooked. The cope is crazy. That's what I'm saying, but you can't tell them shit these days. And I mean nothing. You cannot tell weed smokers nothing. They got all the answers. And they'll tell you the answers. Like, listen. Not only does it make me feel good, it does my body good. I'm like, but you smoke getting up. You sneak and smoke all through the day. Then you smoke when you come home. Like, you don't, but still, like, you can smoke all the weed you want. It's not going to give you cancer. I'm like, but you smoking it. Like, and I have to lend some bias to myself, because I lost my best friend this year and he did not smoke cigarettes. But you know what he did do? He chain smoked reefer and he smoked blunts, and he would not stop smoking blunts. So that little bit of tobacco that was in the blunt wrap did him in over time. And I felt bad about it. The reason I felt so bad about it was because me and him started smoking weed at this exact same time. But I stopped. I stopped early in the game. I really didn't like the high. I loved the high for 1 year, from 23 and all through 24. I'm 23, 1993 through most of 94. And then I stopped. I think I smoked some weed that gave me like this crazy reaction. It wasn't like angel dust or nothing like that, but it must have been some like real powerful chronic. And maybe I was so used to smoking dirt that I wasn't used to this high, and I ain't dig it. And I was like, no, I'm good. I'm going back to alcohol, which wasn't no better. But anything you do in excess can have an effect on you. So you might get to the point where doctors are telling you that you need to stop smoking. And like my man refused. He refused to even tell him that he smoked. I'm like, my nigga, they got your, they got your x-rays, they got your blood work, they know you smoke. He said, well, yeah, well, they know it. So what they asking me for? I was like, this is what I had to put up with in the last year of his life. Now, you know how hard it is trying to save somebody's life who's not acting like they want to live, man. That shit'll break your heart. And I am heartbroken, man. I miss my dude. I do. Jeff Guapo says, I vaped weed. I don't smoke no more. You can vape weed? I didn't know that. In fact, okay. Stacy White says you can do both. Both what? Towson says, well, medicinal weed is actually stronger than street weed, and CBD is different from than medicinal. Well, no, CBD is actually medicinal weed. But we're talking about the oil. I guess when I'm talking about marijuana, I always call it weed. So I understand what you're saying. Okay, I got you on that. All right. See, yeah, with the dispensaries now, they have the green light to just make any kind of weed they want to. You don't know what you're smoking no more. I know what you're not smoking. You're not smoking regular straight out the ground weed anymore. So for all of the weed smokers that want to say, yeah, but it's a herb, it's come from the earth, it's sanctioned by God, Jah, Allah, Jesus. Jesus smoked weed. They didn't want to put it in the Bible, but he did. I'm like, who stole the cookies from the cookie jar? Was it you? Who, me? Yes, you. Couldn't be. Then who? Well, this is what we got to deal with. Let me see. Mandrake says weed definitely has negative effects, especially for people under 25. You ain't never done lied. It's not a good look. It's really not a good look for young kids to be smoking weed, but they do because they're highly influenced. They think it's the thing to do now. It kind of makes me long for the days when weed was considered drugs. And I ain't even bullshitting. The safest drug is the most abused. The safest substance, I should say, is the most abused now. Jeff Guapo says, we all going to die anyway. The air we're breathing right now is killing us. Now, I think I can survive the air as long as I don't contaminate it myself with smoke. Towson says, and inputs are important, and what goes in must come out. What goes in, it must come out. Okay, Jeff says, so how y'all feeling about alcohol? Alcohol is a drug. People try to separate it and say drugs and alcohol. No, alcohol is a drug. And it has killed many. It has killed cigarettes and alcohol claim more death than all of the other drugs combined. All of them. And they win every year. So the latest statistics on alcohol related deaths, not alcohol related deaths directly due to alcoholism was 100,000, and tobacco is 400,000. 400,000 people per year die because they smoked cigarettes and wouldn't stop. Yet, which two substances were the most legal in the United States for the past over hundreds of years? Cigarettes and alcohol. So we look at all the other drugs as hard drugs like coke and heroin and pills, narcotics, or whatever. And when all we have to do is look right next to us. Look right there on the table. Look right there in your liquor cabinet. Look right there in your refrigerator. Look right down the street where the liquor store is, right on in the store where they sell the cigarettes. This is what we're working with. So at the end of the day, it's all about money. It's all about money at the end of the day. But we are here to talk about trusting your doctor or knowing your body. Trusting your doctor or knowing your body. Let me see. Y'all talking good. That's what's up, man. Appreciate that. Stacey White says, I told them not to shoot me in my knee, and they gave me a shot in my knee. I had a reaction from it. Okay. Jeff says, I get what you're saying, though. Everything has negatives and benefits, but marijuana doesn't kill and make you unhealthy like alcohol. You're right, but my man is dead, and he didn't smoke cigarettes. He only smoked weed. I'm sure that for the rest of my life, that's going to be my example. I didn't lose my man to cigarettes. I didn't lose him to alcohol. I didn't lose him to violence on the street. No freak accidents. He refused to stop smoking weed. He literally refused to stop smoking. Literally refused. Like, ain't going to do it. Find another way. Well, eternity found a way. And I was there with him when he took his last breath. You know what that does? You know what that does? You know how it is when you get word of somebody's death, that's one thing. But when you watch somebody you love, somebody you care about, when you watch them struggle to breathe and they trying to cling on to life because he didn't want to die. It was weird. He didn't want to die, but he didn't want to do what it took to live. Go motherfucking figure. All right. Jeff Guapo says, agreed, man. Drake gotta have discipline. Tao Singh said, I don't know. I think someone dusted me before it gave me the twitches. Man, I got lucky. Yeah, that's people play around like that. That's nothing to play with. It's not cool. It's not cool. Mandrake says, my abuelo, Gramps on my Hispanic side, almost died from drinking too much water. It dilutes your blood. Yeah, too much of anything. Why would he drink too much water? What was going on with that? Guapo. Jeff says, I get 3 sessions of toking a day. Tight beat. 3 sessions of toking a day. Tight beat. Okay. It's a modern day. It's modern day crack. That's how people treating it. Stacey says, I am unable to trust my doctor. I also have to listen to my body too. I think everybody should listen to their body. I just think, like I said, I think everybody should have a certain amount of balance. You know, you have to practice. You have to practice some moderation and practice. Sometimes you have to practice just listening. I mean, really listening, not just, hearing the words that somebody says, but trying to figure out, what the meaning of what they may be trying to communicate to you is or may be. Jeff says, weed is like the new cigarette. Everybody doing it. I mean, y'all speaking nothing but facts. Sugar, Kim's Wims. What's up, ma? What's going on? Says sugar is a drug as well. Man, you think it ain't when it is? And people be in denial of their sugar addiction. And the sugar today ain't the sugar of years before. That's why we so big. Mandrake says coffee and sugar are the least dangerous drugs, but they're everywhere. I don't know if they I don't know if they're not dangerous because they seem to lead to everything else. And when you can't do it, everything else, you seem to load up on that. Not you per se. Thanks for liking and sharing the show, Stacey. Appreciate that. Kim says sugar is just not talked about as dangerous in the U.S. Word. Jeff says, son, I get you. Did your friend only smoke blunts? Yes. All he smoked was blunts. I was like, why don't you switch to a pipe? Use a bong. Hey, I got this cool hookah. My stepmom gave me a hookah before she passed. Look, straight out of Israel. It's an Israel hookah. You know what I mean? You can smoke that Palestinian. And it was funny. You know what the funny part about it was? She bought me the hookah. I didn't know what the fuck it was. Because she thought I smoked weed and I didn't. I looked at it, I was like, what is this? And she said, you know what it is. And I was like, no, I really don't. But I was a grown-ass man. If I smoked weed, I wouldn't be ashamed to say it. Turns out she smoked weed. Who knew? She smoked weed. She bought me a hookah. Like, of all gifts, all souvenirs to bring from Israel, she bought me a fucking hookah. I gave the hookah away. Like tobacco wraps. Yeah, he used to smoke like anything from Phillies to White Houses to Dutch Masters. He smoked blunts, backwoods, whatever. Like whatever he could empty out and wrap up. That's what he smoked, and he smoked all day, every day. He had a job that tested him on a regular basis. He still smoked. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's when you know that, yeah, you in over your head. Chef says also, just to address the title, it's about personal health and taking care of yourself. Make sure you exercise, get your checkups. All medicine done is okay. Wait, all medicine has done is have you rely on medicine for bodily functions. Stacey says, I never tried cigarettes. I tried weed before. I didn't like it. It ain't for everybody. It's really not. She also says, I used to smoke Black and Mild. I did it just for the high. Nah, that Black and Mild shit, that shit's trash. Kim says, people who smoke blunts don't consider everything they're sucking in along with the weed. Mad Tar, like his lungs was done. He had congestive heart failure and all that, never stopped smoking weed. Because you can convince yourself, the thing about it is, when you smoke weed all the time, you're high all the time. Weed smokers will tell you they're only high when they smoke. But everybody else knows that they're high all the time. Because you're not maintaining the shit. It's the only thing that stays in your system for months. Well, at least for a month. Alcohol, 24 hours. Coke, 24 hours. Everything else is 24 to 48 hours. But weed, you smoked back in November. You go take a drug test for a job today and you don't have no job. That shit. Something wrong with that. Something is wrong with that. So because it's in your system that long, how can you deny that it has an effect on how you think and whatever body functions has going on? It's still there. Everything else you did is out. You got to keep re-ing up with everything else. But with weed, you smoke the day you high tomorrow. And for the next week. And you know what? When I stopped drinking alcohol, I realized that even though I didn't consider myself to be an alcoholic because I only drank on the weekends. And I could even go without it on certain weekends or whatever. But I realized after I stopped drinking all the way, I realized that I regained my natural thoughts. Because once you're not chasing something every weekend or every day or whatever, you make time in your schedule. Magically, you have time for other shit. Drinking takes time. You know, you throwing it back. It takes hours. It can take hours because you sipping or gulping or whatever. So when you're not doing it no more, you get a lot of your time back, and you also get your sober thinking, your real sober thinking, not your recovered. You're recovered. All right, I'm not drunk no more, or I'm not high off weed no more. Not the. I mean, your total consistent natural thinking. And it once you get that, it wakes you up. Even if you start doing whatever you was doing before, it wakes you up to the reality of whatever you do. So it really does become like a revelation. BPM says, how did you stop? Man, I wish I could show somebody how I stopped, because it was more of a miracle than anything else. To tell you the truth, I stopped drinking while I was already drunk. I was still drunk man, one day, it was on a Sunday. I remember it was on Sunday. I think the Eagles played the Redskins or something. We won the game, and my brother was coming in from out of town. He was flying in from out of town. He called me up on a Sunday night. I was drinking 40 ounces of Budweiser. I just went to the store to get another 40, because I ran out. Now I used to have like a case of beer. I used to buy like a case of beer on a Thursday or a Friday. By Friday night, I was tossing. So the case of beer would be gone by about Sunday evening. So I would get like a 40 or two, you know what I mean? Because, I had to be significantly drunk. Because I only drunk on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I had to complete my weekend. So my brother had asked me to pick him up from the airport the next day. He said, oh, can you pick me up from the airport? I said, yeah, you coming in tomorrow? I said, that's what's up. Now, anyway, I ain't gonna go into all that. So the next day, that night, after I got off the phone with him, something happened, and I can't explain it, but it was like something snapped. I was drunk, but I felt like something happened. And I swear to God, man, even though it sounds prophetic and maybe even full of shit, I knew that something happened that night that was going to change my life going forward. Something broke. I physically felt it. The next morning, I woke up. Like, did I black out last night? Because, that feeling was still there. The feeling, like whatever it was that I couldn't explain. But I knew from that day I wouldn't drink no more. I knew it from that day. December 8th, 2012. I knew after that day I never craved alcohol again. So back then I was doing stand-up comedy or whatever. So I had a show the next weekend. So Friday night came, and normally I would be at home on a Friday night, drinking my beer, watching TV, talking on the phone, kicking it. Friday night came, and I didn't go to the liquor store. I didn't go get my beer. So it was like Saturday came. I didn't go to the liquor store. I didn't drink. Sunday, the real test was Sunday, because I had a show. That Sunday. And my man came up to me, one of my comedy brothers or whatever. And he was like, yo, son, what you drinking? And I said, yo, man, just give me a Pepsi or something. I ain't drinking tonight. He was like, no. I said, nah, I ain't drinking. And I never drunk again. But I didn't want to tell nobody. I didn't want to tell nobody that I wasn't drinking no more, because I wasn't sure. I hadn't committed to not drinking. I felt it, but I didn't want to throw it out there. And then next thing you know, you see me drinking, 3 months later, 3 weeks later, 3 months later, 6 months later, whatever. So I just kept it under my hat until about 6 to 8 months later. And then, I just kind of told everybody. I kicked it like I just wasn't drinking at the times they asked me, was I drinking? Until, remember, that was December 8th of 2012. So I didn't really tell nobody that I didn't drink no more until around August or some shit like that of 2013. I figured, if I went this many months and I never got the feeling to drink again, but I still have dreams where I relapse and start drinking again. And in the dreams, I'll be like, well, what the fuck are you doing? No, you're going to stop again. I don't know why you stopped this time. This is what I'm saying to myself in the dream. Like, I don't know why you started back up this time, but you're going to stop again. You stopped once, you'll stop again. I've never wanted alcohol again. So I can't really coach anybody on how to stop drinking because I didn't practice. I didn't wean myself off of it. I didn't, take it slow. I didn't do none of that shit. Cold turkey. One day. But I will tell y'all this, and I didn't want to admit this to anybody either. For years, I prayed to stop drinking alcohol. I'm not no big religious dude. I've always been spiritual. I've always had certain beliefs, but I'm not the one to be telling you what to do, how to be righteous, what books to read. That's not me. Not as far as religion is concerned, that's not me. But I do believe in the power of God. And I secretly, and that you in some shit when you pray to God on some secret shit. Like, God, you ain't gonna tell nobody I asked you for this, right? As if I'm asking for something sinister. But the thing is, in your prayers, you gotta actually admit that you have a problem. You have to admit that you aren't in control. You have to admit that you aren't doing the things that you want to do or need to do or should do. So I'm like, in 2010, 2011, and even that year, 2012, like, God, can you at least like let me just drink recreationally, it's just regular shit. Stop these blackouts, I don't want to get drunk no more. I just want to drink socially. All right, God. Take away my desire for alcohol. I had prayed for years for this shit. But, in order to pray for it, you have to admit that you ain't in control of it. And I ain't want to do that. But I did it. And on December 8th, 2012, he answered the call. So now I got regular problems. It ain't alcohol, weed, or any kind of substance like that. But let's get into this thing, man. Oh, hold on. Let's get dressed. I'm sorry, y'all. You know what I mean? My man asked about getting dressed. He asked about getting dressed. How deep? Oh, man, it's already 2:40. We good, though. Just go ahead. And put a cowboy bones on. The cow bones on. Okay. All right. So which one y'all want to do? Which one? Which cow bones? Which one y'all want to wear? Is it the one on the left? This the one on the left? Is it the one in the middle? These are genuine cow bone necklaces. Or is the one on the right? You can choose. Yeah, pick which one you want tonight. Which one, y'all? Okay, Jeff Guapo says left. So the left is leading. This is the one on the left. Huh? Nice, huh? Nice. This is the one on the left. What y'all think? Mandrake says left. All right, left is leading. This is the one in the middle. What's good? All right, and this is the one on the right. Man, Drake said everyone vote left. Look, if they keep lunching, they keep hesitating, left is going to win anyway. All right, so this is the one on the right. This is the one in the middle. We got slow voting here. All right. And this is the one on the left. So the left is leading right now. Left going once. Left going twice. Left going three times. Left wins, baby. And left seems to win a lot. In a minute, I'm going to just start choosing left by default. Left wins a lot. But it's a good choice. It's a good choice. I don't consider there to be a way to lose. Everybody wins. All right. Look at you. Look at y'all looking good. Looking real good. You know what I'm saying? Looking real nice. Hold on. Let me get that. Yeah, there you go. Ladies, you're looking pretty. You're looking beautiful. You're looking sweet. You're looking sexy. You're looking elegant. You're looking like somebody want to take home tonight. Brothers, you're looking handsome. You're looking suave. You're looking debonair. You're looking smooth. You got on your soft stuff. Everybody looking good. Everybody looking good. Yeah. You know, with you looking like that, you won't need no medical attention. You won't need no medical attention, but we need to talk about, we need to have this talk. Trusting your doctor. Trusting your doctor, or you know your body, knowing your body. Let's see if we can do this. Let's see if we can do this. How many people are more into the medical field, or, you know, there's nothing wrong with like getting routine checkups and annual exams, or, you know, scheduled exams or anything like that. There's nothing wrong with that. But are you more into conventional medicine, or are you more into herbal or naturopathic remedies or maintenance or whatever? So do you normally allow your doctor to dictate your health regimen, or do you normally take control of it yourself? Read about things, find out about herbs, seek out natural remedies, cohort with naturopathic practitioners or shamans. You know what I mean? Like, you know, let me know. Like, what are y'all? What are we doing for the most part out here? What are we doing? Mandrake says that was a fairer election than this year's presidential election. I tend to agree. Jeff says, yes, sir. Keep it up, Mandrake. Life is a marathon. Okay, I didn't get a chance to read all this stuff that y'all was talking about when I was telling my story. I'll go back, though. Cheryl Halsey is in the house. What up, ma? Cheryl Halsey. She said smoking is harder to stop doing than drugs. It's harder to stop doing than some drugs for some people. It's true. And one thing about doing drugs is you would never be able to rationalize that you're doing the right thing, or that you're doing okay. You know it. But with cigarettes, with alcohol, with weed, you will rationalize that you are in control. You can stop whenever you want. You got this. It's not really going to hurt you. You got a lot of time left to go ahead and correct anything that you break. And it don't always work that way. And, you know, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm 54 years old. Maybe I feel like, listen, time is precious. I've lost a lot of people, friends, families, loved ones, lovers. You know what I'm saying? Shit get real out here. It's real out here, son. You know, but life is precious. And your body is your temple. Now, it's easy for us to say that our body is our temple, but we don't always treat it as such. So how do we get to the point where we're treating our bodies the way that it needs to be treated? And are we right? Are we right about the way we treat our bodies? When we say that, listen, I ain't gonna be taking all this medicine, or I ain't gonna be getting these shots, and I ain't gonna be doing these vaccinations and all of that. I support all of that. I get it. But once we declare ourselves to know our bodies, some people will say they know their bodies, but they putting all the wrong shit in their body. They doing all of the messed up stuff to their body. Like, yeah, you know your body, but you ain't doing right. What you mean you know your body? Come on, man. You know what I mean? Listen, I'm a real big battle rap fan, right? So it was this battle rap event it was in October. There was this battle rap event in October. Now, this wasn't a real battle rap event. It was battle rappers boxing each other. So they were going to have like a little exhibition boxing match, a grudge match for battle rappers who have beef with each other. There was supposed to be 8 boxing matches. 8 boxing matches. You know how many boxing matches they had? 2. You know why they only had 2? Because they had to test in order for you to have people fighting each other and, you know, potentially knocking each other's heads off or putting each other in some type of health crisis. You have to test them to make sure that they're healthy enough to get in the ring. When I tell you that all of these motherfuckers had high blood pressure, and that's why they couldn't have them fights, that shit was ridiculous. None of the matches except for 2 could go on because they all had high blood pressure. And I'll bet you all of them drink, all of them smoke, and all of them are in big trouble. All right, hold on. We have a call on the line. Hold on, we're gonna take the caller. We're gonna take the call in just a minute. Wait a minute, what did I do? Okay. We got it. So wait a minute. How do I unhold the caller? How do I unhold? Hold on. We're gonna get it back. Just give me a second. All right, but yeah. So they couldn't box, and the event couldn't really go down. All these people paid their money and pay-per-view, paid to get in the place, and they couldn't do it because all of the rappers tested for high blood pressure. So potentially they could have got in the ring and they could all either had strokes or straight croaked. But I bet you they'll tell you, but I know my body. I'm good. There's some things you can't fuck around with. There are some things you can't fuck around with. You know, that high blood pressure shit ain't no joke. And you may look at it like it's a joke until you get that stroke. And then you literally talking out the side of your mouth. Your face hanging and shit. That ain't the move. You don't want that. Damn, is it a delay? Is it a mad delay for some of y'all? Because I see Cheryl Halsey talking about some middle. We've been got the vote out. You gotta speed up your you might have you know what, you might have went back on the show. You gotta move your cursor all the way up. We way past the necklaces. All right, Mandrake says, I'm in love with the medical technology, but not the industry. Okay. Jeff Guabo says, I'm into the natural, which is exercise and eating in order, but I do understand the care for medicine. There's a time and a place for all things. That's why having knowledge of certain things is so important. You know, I mean, if the pandemic didn't teach us nothing, it taught us that we don't know enough. I mean, can we agree on that? Did COVID-19 at least teach us that we need to know more? Because I felt like it did that. I felt like it if it ain't do nothing, it kind of accomplished that goal. Do y'all agree? All right. What up, Chirac? What's good? Good to see you. Good to see you, without a doubt. Mandrick says, you know that the body is connected to the mind, especially muscle memory. Without a doubt. That's facts. Donnell Kinsella, high blood pressure medication is no joke. Dreadful side effects. Better to correct the diet and lifestyle. That's true, but you have to know what you're doing. So when we get into this whole I know my body thing, we gotta really know our body instead of just saying it. And I have a funny suspicion, a funny feeling that a lot of times we just saying that we know our body. Evidently, we don't know enough. We got to learn something. But y'all, listen, I'm about to take the caller. I'm about to take the caller. I said 267-874-1949. That's the number to call. I said a 267-874-1949. Yes, y'all. I said a 267-874-1949. Yeah, get on the line. I said a 267-874-1949. Yeah, get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. 267-874-1949, baby. Call 267-879. I'm sorry, 267-874-1949. And we can get you on up in here. Y'all know this is a totally interactive show, but it's also totally uncensored when you call in. In the chat, you are under community guidelines restriction. But when you call in, you can say whatever you want. I invite you to let it go, let it fly, get it off your chest, brush the dust off your shoulder. You know what I mean? Express yourself. Do it good. So I put the caller on hold. Now I got to figure out how to get her off a hold. So okay, I got it. All right. I think I got it. So she's on hold. So take her off hold. Caller with the last number is 1132. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. Thank you for holding. What's on your mind tonight? What's good?
Hello.
Hello. Howdy.
Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good.
I'm calling in about the topic.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could do both. I think you could trust your doctor and listen to your body.
Okay.
Yeah, you do, but you have to have wisdom because a lot of people, when they go to the doctor, they overly trust their doctor, and I've seen people have died by getting operations and surgeries and tests and stuff. Mm-hmm. They probably would have still been here. I didn't know that you could refuse a test until I got grown.
Okay.
So, and when I was younger, they had me on 5 medications, and I was on steroids, and that's what made me fat too. I was fat. I was a fat kid.
Okay.
But when I got, like 21 and 20, that's when the weight started coming off because they got me off the medication. I had 5 medications I was taking. Now I went from 5, and now I'm good and grown. I'm on just 2.
Okay.
just 2 medications. And my mother was like, give me all this time. I'm thinking my daughter is a big child, and she wasn't a big child. You know, it was just the medication. And then, of course, I done tried so many diets, crash diets. I finally found one that worked for me. I does calorie count. That takes place in your health too, how you eat.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, how you eat, and basically how your lifestyle of living, and that's when how you live and how you eat. That's when you can pay attention to your body
Okay.
more so. Because sometimes these doctors don't know everything.
Well, that's true. They don't know everything. Now, you know what? You bring up an interesting point when you start talking about children, because you want your children to start off as healthy as possible. So,
Exactly.
children don't know their bodies yet. And you can only know so much about your children and their health status or whatever. You're going to need some help from medical professionals in order to get your kids in order. But you know how a lot of, just like you, where a lot of children start off in life being kind of sickly, and then they, as a lot of them get older, they start becoming more healthy and start getting sick less and less. But let's say if you're the type of person that really doesn't trust the medical profession, or you really just have a lot of contempt for doctors and things like that, you're probably not going to want your children to have a lot of conventional medical care either. And you can do a lot in the way of messing up your child. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a risk that you may be willing to take, especially if you really feel like you know more than doctors know, or you think that you know the things that they aren't telling you and things like that. It can be a little confusing, but I don't think it's a good idea to roll the dice when it comes to your kids. But can you trust these physicians nowadays to do more than just put your kids on a bunch of medicine or a bunch of pharmaceuticals?
You know what? That's you really have to have prayer. Every time I go in for surgery, I'm praying. I don't believe in this is just me, and it got nothing to do. Well, it does got something to do with religion. I don't believe in cutting or anything. This is even before I had met God. You know, I would be, my body would be messed up if I didn't go for the surgery when it came to my knees.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I talked about how God don't want you doing nothing like butt lifts and stuff like that. He talks about that in Leviticus. He don't want you doing nothing to your body. And my cousin introduced it. She was like, just pray about it, Stacey. Every time I go for surgery, any kind of surgery, especially major surgery, my knees was major surgery. And at the time, they doing it at the same time now. But back then, they didn't do it at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I prayed about it, and I got all right with it. It was all right for me. The second time I had surgery, I didn't come over easy. It wasn't easy. Mm-hmm. But I'm all right with it,
Yeah.
So you just have to really have a good relationship with God. You definitely have to have one with God. You ain't got to be religious, but you have to have a relationship with Him, and you got to have wisdom. Because I've seen people that at the age of 34 just getting surgeries, just doing everything they doctors say do. Sometimes these doctors be out for money.
Sometimes.
They a lot of times. They don't have your good answer. You know how I found out I had a good doctor was how my how she issue out my medicine, and what I was going through, I couldn't get to her, and I was able to have my medicine on time, which I really needed, and she knew what she was doing, how she gave me that's what made me really trust my doctor.
Okay.
Because sometimes I'll be like, you can't tell me, I know what my body needs, I'll be in pain, I'll be hurting,
Mm-hmm.
And then also, like I said, with the weight loss, I wasn't always successful with that.
Okay.
Full figure people, you see them, eating, and then, they stop their diet and everything. That's not a judgment call. It's not easy to lose weight. it's not easy at all. I did calorie count. That's what made me lose weight. And then after I found out food make you is healing, I really got into food. I really liked it then when I found out.
Wait. Hold on a second. Wait. No, never mind. Go ahead.
When I found out food would be medicine, I really got into it then. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I never when I was growing up, I never liked the vegetables. And I love vegetables now. You know, so, you know, it's a judgment call when you have to have wisdom when you go to your doctor. And but you also have to know yourself.
Mm-hmm. Hold on just a second.
You have a call from.
Okay. So put the call on hold.
Hello?
Hold on. I'm gonna put you on hold and then I'm gonna bring you in just a minute. All right.
Okay. It was weird. Okay.
Yeah. This is different.
Okay.
All right. Boom. All right. Go ahead.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to have wisdom. You really have to, and you have to have that parent, you know, maternity parent. You know, everybody has to have maternity if you're a parent. You know, so you have to know what to do. Because my mother, she was very surprised when she found out. Steroids they will take away the pain, but they make you big and they make you eat. And that's what I was on when I was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a big kid when I wasn't big, but I was big enough for me because my height took it, and it took the size. I'm 5'7", and I was 5'7". I was 160 pounds.
Okay.
So 160 pounds from that medicine.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And well, if that was back in the day, that might have been a little bit of weight. And nowadays, these chicks is big as shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But you know, when I lost the weight and I did the squats and I did the exercise, it's like my body changed. Everything just changed and shifted different. Mama was like, I had never seen nothing like that. She never seen me transform different, in my body. She never seen that before. I did the work.
Yeah, I hear you.
I did the work. It wasn't easy because I wasn't confident when I was really big.
Okay.
My mother's always been a full figure, and she always been confident. Some people are confident when they big, and some people not. I wasn't.
Yeah, some people. You're right about that. It ain't for everybody. It ain't for everybody.
Yeah, it ain't for everybody, and I wasn't. I be admiring full figure women that's big and confident. I admire my mama a lot. She dressed like she was supposed to dress. As a big woman, and she was really confident. I didn't know, she never had a problem with her weight, but I always had a problem with mine.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you look at a lot of the pictures from back in the day, people who we considered to be big or fat back in the day, and they're nothing compared to what the sizes are that we are these days. Like, I go back and I look at some of the old videos, like the Fat Boys. Remember the group, the Fat Boys?
Yeah.
And I look at them now and I'm like, yo, by today's standards, they wouldn't even be the Fat Boys. They would be like the Thick Boys, or you know what I mean? A little, like that's crazy. But I remember when I was younger, they looked fat as hell, each one of them. And so, and so the reason that they don't look big back in the day to us now is not because we've gotten so much bigger. It's because everybody else has gotten so much bigger. So it drowned them out, So shoot, it can't be healthy to carry around all of that weight. But
it's a different. I feel a different with me being big and being small when it comes to my sickness. I do feel a difference. And so, I really try to watch. I like to eat, so I really try to watch what I put in my temples because I do feel a difference.
Mm-hmm.
That pain is not no joke. It's not no joke. And I'm so glad that God gave me grace where I didn't get addicted to anything, you know. But, you know, it's crazy. It's hard living sober. It is. It's hard sometimes. It's crazy living sober, but, you know, it can be done.
Mm-hmm.
It could be done, you know, but, you know, I had my little struggles growing up and my little pill pressures. I have had pill pressures because if you weren't doing a certain thing or a certain thing, you was considered a square.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. But just because you are peer pressured into doing something, don't mean that you have to keep doing them. You know, like you have at some point you have to decide what's good for you and what's not, and that can be the confusing thing about the medical industry, like trying to figure out what's good for you by their recommendations versus what's good for you by what you know, for your body and for and with what the medical industry has to offer.
Yeah.
So
They had told my mother with the medication I was taking, I would get addicted. My mother was like, if she was going to get addicted, she would have been addicted a long time ago, and she was right about that. Sometimes they be saying things that, you know, it don't be right, you know, because they sometimes these physicians don't want to give you medication. They'll leave you in pain. You have to fuss for your medicine. I know I do.
mm-hmm.
I had to fuss my medicine, you know, and I'm like, and then I have been in a position where I had insurance to pay for all my doctor stuff, and I have been in a position where I didn't, and it's very costly.
Without a doubt.
Very costly. Like one medication, $100 just for one. I was like, oh heck, you know, I'll be skipping down the hall because I be so glad about my insurance.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a flex paying out of pocket that much money for one bottle of prescription. That's not a flex for me.
Yeah.
That's too much.
Shoot, spending all your money on medicine ain't a flex, period. That's not a good look.
Yeah, let the internet tell you, they'll make you think it's something to be proud of and that you can do it. When I know they probably wish they had insurance.
Man, with them list of side effects that they be talking about, I be like, man, I what's the use in being healthy if it's going to make my ears fall off?
That's another thing I had to deal with. I had to deal with side effects, and the side effects sometimes is kind of scary, you know. And that's why I had to really, like I said, I had a humbling experience, and that's why I said, can't nobody tell me God ain't real because He has been there for me. I had to pray about my side effects because the side effects are horrible.
Yeah, I feel you.
My pastor used to say they fix one thing and then mess up another thing.
Without a doubt. I
just call in, you know, you can listen to both, but then that comes with wisdom and it comes with experience. And then my mother understood where I told her I'm tired. I was like, if God can't do nothing now, it ain't gonna be done. I am tired of going back and forth to the doctor trying to get something did to me.
Yeah,
it is, you know, and she understood that. She didn't fuss on me about going back and forth, and she understood.
Okay.
You know, and that's why I said I had issues with my health. And one that I couldn't get nobody or couldn't keep nobody is they weren't strong enough to stay.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So
yeah, it's real shit, but yeah, hang in there, man. You know, keep educating yourself, keep learning, keep trying new things, you know, but by all means, practice safety and moderation above all, you know, because you know, like you have to find out who you can trust. You can't just take somebody's word for it, even if they were recommended by somebody else that you may trust. You know what I mean? You just don't know that something might work for somebody else and might not work for you. You got to find out what works for you.
And can you believe at the age of 53, I still be getting peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
I still have peer pressure, you know, but I'm trying to like be the person where, you know, it affects other people positive instead of them trying to get me to do what they do. I'm like, no, I walk by myself, you know. So I have to keep, you know, I have to do all things, like you say, in moderation and everything, you know, going to the doctor, eating right, and watching what I put in my body, whether it be drinking or whatnot. I don't, but sometimes I do take a drink every now and then. You have to. You have
there's nothing wrong with doing anything. Shoot, you could smoke crack up every now and then if you could control it. The thing is, it don't allow you to be able to do it. If you only smoke crack once a year, ain't nobody gonna have a problem with that.
Yeah, well, that one I ain't gonna touch. I'm too scared of that one.
It's just an example. I wouldn't encourage anybody to do it.
Yeah, I know. I know what you're trying to say.
But if you could just do it once a year, it wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. But I like I said, I take a drink every now and then, and that's it. And then I just, I'm still trying to get this breakthrough of this healing, If he do it for me, he do it. If he don't, I'm not gonna worry. I'm just gonna continue to glorify him.
Yeah.
I've seen people in my position went the wrong way, all the way wrong. And I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I don't want to do that. But I was just calling in. You can trust both, but you have to have insight.
No doubt. Well, I appreciate you calling in. Thank you. You have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff with the caller right there. Good stuff with the caller. I appreciate you calling in. Appreciate the commentary and the information. Yo, make sure y'all hit the like button. Y'all hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. You haven't subscribed to the channel yet. This is the Daily Go Getimism Show. I'm your host, Sun752. I'm feeling like a real man should. I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should also. Tonight on the Daily Go Getimism Show, we are talking about trusting your doctor or knowing your body. Which one is better for you? You can do both, or maybe you do either or. Are you satisfied with the medical care that you've been receiving, or is it leaving you something to be desired? Does the future worry you or concern you, or straight up and down scare you because of some of the so-called medical mysteries or medical advances, or the pharmaceutical industry seeming to be so greedy, and doctors working in conjunction with them? You really have to look out for yourself. You got to look out for number one nowadays. What up, Selena? Thanks for coming on through. I appreciate you. He says, I pray all those UFO drones aren't after you. Actually, I want to see. If they real UFOs, if they real spaceships, I want to see. Enough is enough. I've been waiting for a spaceship all my life, ever since Parliament Funkadelics. All right, caller with the last number is 5639. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. Thank you for holding. What's on your mind tonight? What's good?
What's up, son?
You already know. You a sound for sore ears. Good to hear from you.
So before I say anything, let me put my disclaimer out there, because I don't want anyone thinking they need to do anything I'm talking about. Do what works for you, and trust and believe in what works for you. Don't have to mimic anything that I say. This is one of my favorite topics, of course. And even though I don't always do the right thing, it's still one of my favorite topics. Because I'm always trying every day that I wake up. But this whole conversation about medical professionals, and I guess we should lean into Western civilization medical professionals, because they tend to be a little different than around the rest of the globe. Most of us have been taught to believe that they have all the answers and they know everything. Then you grow up and you learn, and you do better because you learn better.
Right.
And one of the things we know for sure is Western civilization medicine is not designed to heal. It's only designed to mask. So they continue to fill us with medicine that never resolves the problem. It only creates more.
Right.
Even now with this Ozempic stuff, I have people in my circle who have never in their lives dealt with diabetes, but now everyone is diabetic. so they can take Ozempic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you guys you're not afraid of that? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, and I have a friend now who comfortably said, since I'm taking Ozempic, and I'm not saying anybody else do it work for you. She says, since I take Ozempic, I lay up in the bed and eat what I want. Cookies and cakes and all this. And I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Joe.
And she has a doctor who signed off for her taking it. But this lady's not diabetic. She never has been. But now, all of a sudden, she is, so she can take it. And the sad part is, she's starting to feel the side effects of it. And she's comfortable with the side effects because her favorite phrase is, well, that's just some of the side effects. I'm sorry, what? You're okay with the side effects? That works for you? Because for me, when I hear the side effects to any med, I'm like, why on earth would I take this shit? Like, what kind of dumbass would I be to take something that's going to cause me 5 more problems than the one I'm already having? And it's crazy because every med that they have a commercial for, it's a happy song and dance for it. And I'm like, are you, what?
Oh, Zambic.
Yes.
Oh. Hey, hold on. The Wegovy commercial, and they just walk in the streets and shit. You know what I'm saying? The boy
dancing around.
like, come on, man. Come on, man. What we doing?
But that shows you how sick we really are.
Bad out here.
Like, I have a friend now who's dealing with cancer. She went in for surgery earlier in the year. The doctor said, oh, we got it all out. And a month later, she had to have another surgery that damaged her gallbladder and her liver.
Mm-hmm.
And then she had to go back in and have another surgery because, oh, we think it's returned. Now, in this process, I'm asking her, what paperwork or what orders did the doctor give you to go home with? She said, none. I said, I can't believe the doctor didn't give you anything for you to go home with. The doctor gave her none. The doctor sent her home with no rules, no warning, no eating plan, no nothing. Mm-hmm. And so she started eating the same shit she was eating before and then had to go back to the hospital. And I'm saying, if this is a good doctor, the doctor would say, hey, don't eat this, watch sugar, avoid dairy, meat, too much of it can do such and such. The doctor gave her nothing. And while she was in the hospital in recovery, they gave her pudding to eat, Jell-O to eat, corn to eat. I'm like, why on earth would the doctor give you these 3 things that are not good for your health while you're in recovery from cancer surgery? Stop listening to the doctor. Stop listening to the doctor. I can't tell anybody else what to do, but I do believe in holistic, naturopathic, and pulling some of the stuff from back in the day that our great ancestors did. Like, sunlight is a big deal. Water is a big deal. And I don't mean just drinking H2O water. I mean consuming foods that contain water, hydrating foods.
Yeah.
We know avoiding sugar is a big one. Just like people who are vegan, they say, well, I'm not eating meat anymore or eating dairy anymore, so I'm healthy. But they're not even looking at the chemicals that are in some of these things that are labeled vegan or labeled vegetarian. Like this Beyond Meat stuff. You don't even know what the hell it is, but you go Beyond to eat it. And they go Beyond to make it look like regular meat. Nothing about that makes sense to you. You're going to eat something that's supposed to be plant-based, but they had to add something to do, a chemical to it to make it look like it's bloody. Come on now. Make it make sense. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. And for the person, idiotic genius, I'm so sorry you're dealing with that. I'm so sorry. I have a friend who has a heart condition caused by the doctors. And while she was in the hospital being seen about the damage they caused to her heart, they gave her a medicine that was supposed to regulate her blood pressure, and it made her blood pressure drop so low that she passed out in the hospital. So I don't think you can solely count on a doctor to give you anything.
Yeah.
Like even when it comes to that, doctors versus the pharmacist, you're gonna have a battle because the doctor tell you take this, that, and the third, and the pharmacist will be like, wait a minute, you shouldn't mix these meds. The doctor didn't pick this up.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to listen to your body. That's my opinion. This whole thing about, my doctor said take these blood pressure pills and I need to take 2 a day. Then you find out it's a recall on them because something in the product, in the labeling, something in the mixed concoction of chemicals is causing side effects that are worse than we described. Or they're killing people and they don't want to talk about that. So I just think it's so many things now we have to do different. There's no one answer to it. There's no single solid answer to it. And it's not easy. It's bad enough that we consume terrible air. The water is trash. Our food, air quote, food is trash. And then we have chemicals we consume and the chemicals we use on our body because that's not even discussed.
Mm-hmm.
You have to speak to a naturopathic or a holistic doctor or someone who was just holistic themselves to understand even the chemicals we use on our body.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I remember trying to figure out why I was getting a particular rash on my hands, and I'm thinking, was it the lotion I'm using? Is it the soap I'm using? What is it? And it turned out to be something as simple as the laundry detergent I was using.
Mm-hmm.
So for whatever reason, that part of my skin was extra sensitive. And I had to switch laundry detergent. But it took a battery of tests and a whole bunch of everything for me to figure it out.
It was your allergies.
To figure out, for anybody to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just what we consume, what we eat. It's just a litany of things. Even sleep is a big deal.
Yeah. Listen, man, we at that point in our lives right now. Shit that wouldn't have been serious before now. We gotta take a strong look at that shit. You know what I mean? Like, what's that? It could be anything, like a blemish on your skin, a strange bump. I'm to the point where anything that itches, I'm like, all right, that's cool. If that shit don't itch, I'm like, oh shit, that's cancer. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I need this shit to itch. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy. And speaking of cancer, and any of these potentially terminal illnesses and shit, those are the times when you really have to know who you can trust and when you really have to follow instructions because your life literally depends on it. So and that's when it can be the most stressful for you because you're just trying to live. You're not trying to you're trying not to. They tell you that you can't get well if you stressed out and whatever, but they seem to forget to tell you how hard it is for you to prevent yourself from getting stressed out. Hold on a second. Hold on, I'm gonna put you on hold. So just hold for a second. All right. Okay. Yeah. It's yeah, you have to know who you should listen to. You got to make sure that you are careful about what procedures you choose to use. The whole chemo thing. I have such bad information about chemo, and I know people are still going to use it regardless. And I can't say that if I was in that position, would I totally refuse it if it could be proven to me that it could give you a chance, even though with all of the things that I know about it, to me it seems like just a worthless procedure and a money grab. But yeah, when it comes to cancer, we got to understand that every cancer patient is worth at least $250,000 to the medical industry. $250,000 if you have cancer. That's what the bills are going to come up to. So when you look at it from that perspective, you start to understand why the medical breakthroughs aren't coming through, or why they're so slow to them. Because they get money. You know what I mean? They get money and they don't care. They don't care. Now, if they know how much money it can bring in, and they know how the condition acts, they probably know how to fix it too. So then
they've been researching it since what, 1919?
Huh?
That's as far back as I have found information on. They've been researching it since 1919.
Mm-hmm.
And they still don't have a cure. They still have nothing to go on. They still can't provide anything.
If you notice how hesitant they are to say that they cured anything these days. Cure is not a word that doctors ever use anymore.
Because that's not what they do.
Exactly.
Even when you talk about chemo, I lost my mom to cancer. Mm-hmm. And she went on her own terms because she refused to do chemo. Mm-hmm. And her biggest thing was, even though it's supposed to kill off the damaged cells, but they failed to mention in there that it also kills the healthy cells, because it doesn't know between which cell is sick.
Yeah, it just kill everything.
This is the blue one.
Yep.
It just kills anything in its path. That's what it's radiation. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. So, that it took me a long time to accept this, that she chose that, but I understand it now, because I've seen people who have gone through chemo and how on the other side they pray for that. Yeah. And I'm like, it's just a tough thing, but here's the other side of it. My dad, it's been 4 decades now, maybe five decades now. He was diagnosed with prostate cancer. And he chose also not to do chemo or anything that the doctor suggested. And he said he's going to go holistic route. The doctor said, you won't survive a year. And my dad is 81 now. Mm-hmm. And just as healthy as he can be. So, not in a wheelchair, he's not on a bunch of meds. He teaches Tai Chi. He's helping with 2 brand new baby grandchildren. Yeah. I'm just saying, and now I'm not saying it was easy for him to go holistic, because he said some things that I'm like, oh, I don't know if I could handle that. I don't think the average person could handle the things he had to do on a holistic route. Yeah. But it saved his life. Mm-hmm. Versus going through what the doctor said. So, and even my friend now, she's had chemo twice, her hair is coming out, and you can see a discoloration in her skin. She's sick all the time. She had to use a walker for a minute. This lady's in her 40s. Mm-hmm. So it's just an up in the air thing. You have to choose what works best for you, that's for sure. But it helps to be more knowledgeable, not just about the meds and the doctors, but about the natural things that we have to do, the things that God put here for us to be healthy with. And that's easier said than done, because we know we have terrible soil and our food is not always the best, even when it's grown from, what I'm saying, we're eating fruits and vegetables. Facts. We have to be mindful of whoever owns the soil, whoever is spraying chemicals, all those things we have to take into consideration as well. Mm-hmm. But you have to do a little bit of something to get a little bit better. That's just the way I think about it. And you can't put your faith into Western civilization medical professionals, and we can call it what it is. It's probably going to sound terrible for me to say. And I don't mean to be offensive to anybody, but when it comes to being a Black person in this society, you definitely can't trust them to do everything the right way, because you don't know who is cutting on you, who's digging something on you, who's giving you a med, who's suggesting something to you, who doesn't give a fuck about you. based on your skin.
And that's most of them.
So,
Unfortunately, that's what we have to deal with. So now on the other side of that, even with the holistic medicine, even with holistic practitioners and doctors and holistic medicine, you also have to know who you can trust on that side too. Because just like in conventional medicine, they never talk about cures. On the holistic side, all they ever talk about is cures. But are they really curing anything? And like, all right, a lot of people followed Dr. Sebi when he was alive, and they still use his techniques and stuff like that. But the thing about Dr. Sebi, which went against the grain of all naturopathic practitioners, was that his stuff was super expensive. Like, what's the point? You know, like, what's the point in naturopathy if you're going to charge them the same thing that the medical industry is charging them, but they're not able to use their insurance because the insurance companies don't believe in naturopathic medicine. They don't believe in natural remedies. So you got to find a way to come up with $25,000 to $50,000. You know, like, so basically he was sentencing people to death too, and that's wild.
I think some of it is because there's so many people out here with their version of what he says, what he does, what he sold, yada, yada, yada. And I think the main thing is here listening to the principles of what it means to be healthy, what it means to be natural, what it means to eat natural, what it means to take in a holistic way of life.
Yeah.
And no, it's not easy. No, you can't do it overnight. It takes time, it takes practice, and it takes a lot of research and understanding. And what that means is you have to become everything. You have to become an herbalist. I don't mean you have to physically go take a class to become one, but it means you need to get out those old school books and study. I'm not talking about something that was written and developed in 2022 by somebody who went through the pandemic and decided this is my new business is writing books. I'm talking about you have to go back and get a book from 1971 that talks about what comes from the earth and what herbs count for whatever, and they go where they go and they do this and they do that. And you have to study and really learn it because just like with Aki, the plant that grows in Jamaica, fruit.
Yeah.
We know it. People, it's delicious. They love it, all of that. But also, if it's picked and plucked and opened too soon, it's poisonous. So those are things you have to learn. And no, it's not easy because even being a pescatarian, you have to be mindful of mercury in the fish. So all of that, I think, takes your own research and knowledge, and you can't do that in 24 hours. You can't do it in 30 days. It really takes real understanding to get it. So I know, well, for me, in my opinion, I do believe Dr. Sebi may have been on the right route, but what we're seeing now is a lot of copycats or people who have jumped on the bandwagon and they selling all this different stuff and putting all these different things out there, and they're just taking advantage, you know?
Yeah, well, you know, the greed of man always takes center stage at some point. But naturopathy is supposed to be the area where you really are genuinely concerned with humanity and actually doing something good here. But wherever there's money involved, the money is going to become the concentration, or is going to become where all the money, where all the concentration goes into after a while, and it never fails. Because listen, when Dr. Sebi was alive, I knew a lot of people. I knew some people who went to him, and I got into holistic medicine, naturopathy from my man Dr. Paul, and that was who my dad introduced me to, and he was real sharp. And he knew a lot of people in naturopathy and all of that kind of stuff. He had made a lot of inroads in the industry and, or should I say, in the way of life. And he, you know, he really didn't have a lot of good things to say about Dr. Say, because he was like a lot of people who had went to him and couldn't afford him, or went to him and certain things didn't work. You know, they came to him, you know, after, you know, they was going to give it a try because they really believed in it, but they knew that something was off. You know, so for all the good that Dr. Sebi had done, and I'm not saying that he didn't do a lot of good, because he did, but you know, the ego of men is what it is. You know what I mean? You know, you start curing people of AIDS and cancer and all that kind of shit, and next thing you know, you playing God. Well, you go to church and you pay for God, you can pay me too. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, our brain works that way. And you thinking like, well, damn, man, you a straight vegan. You know what I mean? So you ain't supposed to even be thinking like that. You're supposed to have nothing but good thoughts. Like, yeah, good money with, I mean, good thoughts with the cha-ching sound. You know, ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. But that's something that we have to deal with. So trust is a hard thing to deal with, especially when you are dealing with a serious medical condition that you have to try to find who you can trust too, and you're not feeling like you're in your right state. So you may need somebody to help guide you along. You just don't, you just never know, man. You gotta stay ready out here. You really have to stay ready. Ready, even if nothing is wrong with you, you gotta be prepared.
You almost have to become your own medical professional, in the sense that, like you said, you know your body. You know when something's wrong. And you have to treat it as such. But some of that too is, I mean, we have to do the right thing, and that's easier said than done. Like I said, sugar is a drug, and I'm addicted. I can admit I'm addicted, because if I go for long enough without it and don't stick to it consistently, fall back, I have an attitude. It makes me angry for whatever reason, and that's just the what is the shakes that people get from a drug addiction. It's the same thing with sugar.
It is. It is. And we not using the same sugar as we did back in the day. This new sugar is on some other shit. This new sugar is on steroids. This new shit, they should call this shit Sugar X. It ain't the same. That high fruit. I ain't even just talking about the high fructose corn syrup. We already know the deal on that. But people still using it. Ain't nobody stopping using it. And I think it's interesting. With the boy RFK Jr. or whatever. He's talking about taking the chloride, the fluoride out of the water, which I agree with. But then I'm listening to what he's not saying. I'm like, so you ain't going to address this high fructose corn syrup thing? Now, it's a funny thing. You know, you want to talk about vaccines and making sure you don't take that and all this other radical crazy shit. But when Michelle Obama was telling everybody to eat healthy, you know, from the time that that you're a child and pushing natural, you know,
they felt attacked.
Man, they
tell you not to eat fast food. Well, you should be eating fast food.
I mean, that was some shit. Like, so we can't tell you to do the right thing. And they couldn't criticize her on her figure. I'm like, well, you know, she seems to be practicing what she preaches. So they couldn't
her skin matched it.
Yeah.
I don't know about anybody else, but most women I know look at each other's skin, and that's how you can tell. You can tell when somebody's hydrated. You can tell. Look at your hands will tell if you're hydrated or not. A lot of people don't know that, but your hands tell you. They show if you're hydrated or not. Your skin tells if you're healthy or not.
Yeah.
And that's without makeup. Your hair shows if you're healthy or not. Your eyes show if you're healthy or not.
Oh, definitely.
You know, the thing about it is he has a lot of valid points in what he's saying, but he's so crazy with other stuff that it's like, huh.
Yeah.
And he's limiting what he's talking about. He's limiting what he should be saying.
Yeah.
Like, if he's going to say, don't eat this and don't eat that, well, put corn in there too. Corn is not meant for human consumption.
It's not. It's not. And you live in the state where all the corn come from.
Exactly. But you know, people don't want to. We have been programmed to believe so many things are okay. Like they still push milk.
Mm-hmm.
They still push milk. And there was a time I drank milk. Milk and cereal was my go-to. And then one day I'm listening to people talk about it. I'm like, something about this doesn't feel right. Because every time I anything dairy, it makes my stomach hurt. It makes me feel a certain way. People say, well, I'm lactose intolerant. Everybody is. Everybody
is.
Yeah. So you're not saying anything that's unique. You know, I come from a family of tea drinkers. Like most of the people in my family don't drink coffee. We've always been tea drinkers. And one of the positives I say in that is we don't just drink tea for pleasure. We drink herbal tea on a regular basis. And I'm not talking about Lipton tea. I'm talking about you got to go get the real deal and make some tea, dry up some fruits and vegetables and use them for your tea. Get some leaves and make some real tea. I think that was a benefit I know it was a benefit to my dad when he was dealing with his cancer situation. And even with my mother, because the doctors had written her off within 30 days and she lived another year so longer than what they anticipated. And that's because she herself was like, well, this I'm going to do this and I'm not going to do that. We have to really start looking at, this is just my opinion, we have to really start looking at everything we use and consume. For example, I have a friend when she makes greens, and her greens are delicious, but I can't eat them because she uses accent in her greens. And I'm like, accent is a meat tenderizer.
Yeah, it sure is.
If you think
and
about
it tastes like it. Yeah, that shit crazy.
Thinking about what it's doing inside your body to your organs.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a lot of stuff to it. And either way, you just have to stop and think. You have to stop and really, knowledge is key in this. It just is. It's not just a catchphrase. Knowledge is key. And when it comes to your health, you just have to look at everything. Anything that you put on your skin, it sits and it absorbs into your pores.
Yeah. You really have to educate yourself about what is safe, what is good, and what's tolerable to put in your body. I mean, all things in moderation. You can withstand low doses of poison, unless it's like cyanide or some shit like that. But most poisons you can tolerate in low doses, but too much of anything becomes toxic or becomes poison if you do it too much. Just like if you do it too little, it won't be effective. So you have to find the proper dosage. And that's the problem that we're running into. We don't know what we're doing. We don't know who we can trust. We don't even know how we can trust. It's just we just out here, freestyling and hoping that somebody will look out for us. We grew up going to the doctors, trusting the doctors, and being told that that doctors are good. Maybe we should aspire to be doctors. It was like the greatest job or the best job or the most lucrative job you can have. And it's just, where it has placed us in today's society. Like I was saying earlier, I don't know if you was on the screen, ever since COVID, if you haven't taken a hard look at your health situation or the health industry as a whole or whatever, I don't know what you've been doing, because it didn't allow us to turn away. You know, we had Trump out here talking about it was going to magically go away, that it wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? I mean, all kinds of crazy shit. You know, when you got leadership that you trust telling you that it's okay, and meanwhile you dying or getting really sick off it, you know, off behind over following behind somebody who didn't know what they was talking about and was really only speaking in their financial interest or in their egocentric interest. That ain't the move. But it can make it hard for you to trust anybody or be sure that anybody knows anything about it, about whatever you need them to know about going forward. So it's tough. It's not a this shit ain't even a laughing matter. It's a crazy situation. And here we are smack dab in the middle of that shit. Like this high blood pressure shit, breast cancer, getting all of this money ain't curing shit, but they pushing that pink shit and it's all about branding and labeling, merchandising and all of that shit. Meanwhile, nobody's getting cured. It's crazy.
They're raising all the money in the world, but nothing is changing.
Did they say
nothing is changing? Nothing is happening. I remember you said that some years ago when we were, like my friend did the breast cancer walk, and he was like, "I'm not donating to that, yada yada yada." And I was like, "Why is he saying that?" So that was the time I'm like, "Damn, they still have this same walk and raise a bunch of money, but there's no movement." I don't understand. If anything, there have been more bras made for women with breast cancer to sell for $100. There are more promotions of different designs and clothes and equipment, but there's nothing in the way of a healing, a cure, or something. And it's not even a conversation, again, a public conversation that says, don't do this. This can cause, like, the average, let's look at the average life, the day in the life of a woman. She gets up, starts her day, so she brushes her teeth with a toothpaste that's made with chemicals. That's one. She's rinsing her mouth with water that's full of chemicals. That's two. She combs her hair and uses chemicals on her hair. That's three. She takes a shower in a soap that's made with harsh chemicals. Mm-hmm. That's four. In her house, she sprayed it down, or she uses the plug-ins or whatever with chemicals that release oil droplets into the air. That's and these aren't natural essential oils. Even though they say it, they're not naturally essential oils because they don't even smell the same.
Okay.
So then she's putting on clothes that are washed in a chemical, like the chemical, these laundry beads and all that kind of stuff. So now you have a combination of bleach, you have a combination of the detergent, then you have a combination of the chemicals that come from the beads. She has those clothes on. She goes out into bad air because our air quality is fucking garbage now. So she goes out into that. She goes to work. She gets in her car that's been washed down and sanitized with chemicals inside. She puts on hand sanitizer. That's another layer of chemicals. And I failed to mention she's put on lotion because it's scented lotion that she's gotten from a specific store that everyone shops at. So she's putting on this scented lotion that's made with chemicals. She's got on deodorant that's made with chemicals. Now she's spraying perfume that's made with chemicals, and she's putting on those layers. She's putting on makeup that's made with different chemicals. She's a bomb of chemicals before she leaves the house. So then she gets in her car, she puts on hand sanitizer, she goes into a workspace with I don't know how many germs, and she's all day with this chemical bomb around her. Then she goes and eats food that's full of chemicals.
Right.
How can she not get breast cancer? How can she not get any form of cancer under all this term? She's a chemical bomb.
Chemical bomb. Wow. Yeah, it's
Of course we're a chemical, Jeff. I know this. But we're a natural chemical. I'm
Yeah.
talking about man-made chemicals here. I'm talking about chemicals made of things we can't even pronounce because they didn't even exist 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's bad out here. It really is. And they coming up with new and new shit. Like I look at my mom and all that medicine she got to take. And before she would just, she would just take any and all of the medicine that they gave her and all of that shit. Like on some real dope fiend shit. Now she like, I don't think it's cool for me to be taking all this medicine. Because she's starting to get it, after this COVID thing and all of that kind of stuff. A lot of people have experienced an awakening, even if they aren't fully awake. It's like, because you see that you can be totally, healthy or whatever. I mean, I don't know if any of us are 100% healthy, but you can be in a good space. You can be in a good physical space and then have your life just slip from up under you over some illness that comes from out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And that's serious shit. So yeah, but either way, you have to have a plan of attack. You have to have a plan of survival if you're going to make it out here, because they're making it increasingly harder to just even think that you're going to be okay. Like they taking away a lot of your good feelings.
Well, I'm not telling what's going to be taken away from January.
Yeah, well,
it's really going to be true that people you just have to be more mindful of your health, because if all these regulations go in place and they remove the people who are put in place to monitor the food we consume, or whatever you want to call it, monitor the water that we use, monitor anything that we consume or put on our body. If those agencies are removed and proper people are in place of them who don't know shit about shit, we are hit. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be important that we are mindful with our health and what we take in and what we consume and what we use, and all of these things. It's going to be important. I mean, I just think it's horrible, and for moms who have these new babies, and every other month there's a recall on baby food. It's just no win. It's just no win. How do you have a recall on baby food?
Like, damn. Shit, I wouldn't be surprised if breast milk start getting recalled. Like, the titty ain't no good no more. Like, I mean, it's bad. This shit is fucking bad. And I just don't understand people who just don't see. I guess they trust technology to the point where they just think that it's okay, that it's going to be all right. Like, even if one chemical messes you up, they have another chemical to make you better. I'm like, yo, what is this? This ain't the movie The Thing or some shit like that. I ain't trying to have all this whole crazy shit going on inside of me. We
are experiments. I believe that. We are the guinea pigs for a lot of experimental things.
Yeah, I can't deal. It's too much. But hold on, we have another caller on the line. Caller with the last number is 9843. Thank you for holding. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. What's going on? Are you there? You gotta take us off mute.
Hello?
There you go. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear? Are you there? Are you there? All right. Hold on. Caller with the last number is 9843. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, but can you hear us?
I can hear you, but you're talking on the other line. Should I call back?
No, I'm not on the other line. I'm on the line with you right now. I clicked you in.
Yeah, but you're talking to somebody else.
No, both of you are on at the same time.
Hello?
You're listening to your you're listening to your advice. Just listen to the phone. Turn the device down.
Because I can barely hear you. It's like you talking over yourself.
Oh, okay. All right, call back.
All right, I'm gonna call back. All
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Let me see. Now, how do I click off? Okay, wait a minute. I'm a let's see, she not hanging up. So all right, this is what we're gonna do. All right, can we just gonna keep going?
Yeah. You know, we can't hear you when you put us on hold. We can't hear the show at all. It just plays this awful music.
Okay.
Hello?
So,
Yes. You never hung up. You never hung up. You got to hang up the phone and call back.
Okay, let me hang up. Okay.
All right. Even though that doesn't make any sense, if you can hear me, then yeah. But
she can't hear you on the other end. Like I said, we can't hear you. When you put us on, we can't hear the show. It's just this music.
Okay. But I think what she was doing is I think she was listening to her device. Hold on, I'm gonna click you in. Wait a minute.
You have a call from.
Nah, don't do that. Hey, caller with the last number is 9843. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. All right, we're good.
Okay. Now I gotta go all the way back. I was watching you when you were when you were putting the bones on. I was right there.
Yeah, but you were behind. You were
middle.
Yeah.
And you back. It rolled so fast. Yeah. Anyway, that's here nor there. But yeah, you know, in talking about now I do have hypertension. Yeah, that I do. And but then I know my body too, you know. And I've been with my doctor for 20 years, and he seems to be a pretty good doctor, you know. But the only problem is, well, he catches things pretty good. You know, say for instance, if you're taking a medicine and you start to cough, well, he says that's like a side effect. And so he had to change my medication. But at any rate, he is a pretty good doctor. But again, I trust my body as well. You know what I mean? And so I just thought the pharmaceutical companies and everybody are getting richer and richer. And that's on my to-do list tomorrow. I'm canceling one of my insurances because I feel like the medication that they're taking off now is not a good medication. It's not holding me down. Even though I try to do other things like drink, have you ever heard of hibiscus tea?
Yeah.
Okay. Now that's good for hypertension. Let's say you want me to take the medicine twice a day. And that's the deal. One I will not take because it drops my blood pressure too low. Okay, so I drink the hibiscus tea, and it kind of balances it out. You know what I mean? But again, the pharmaceutical companies are getting richer and richer and richer, and the bottom line is the doctors can write you prescriptions, but then when you take it to the pharmacy, it's like they give you what they want to give you, or
yeah, basically they give you what they want to give you, and then if you tell them I can't take this, it's causing such and such and such. Okay, then they'll come back on you. Well, this is what your insurance pays for. And see, I've never had that kind of problem.
Yeah.
But things have changed for me. But at the same time, I can change. I checked into it, and I can change to another insurance company. For me being able to, get at least hopefully, I'll get the proper medication that I need. And talking about back in the day, I smoked weed, I think a couple of times, but I did not like it. And I would every now and then, let's say if we were partying or something and we were drinking some of that Seagram, I may light up a cigarette and smoke, but it never became a habit for me like it did my husband. My husband started smoking at 13.
Okay.
And all the way until, he left this earth. But anyway, I mean, after he got sick, he couldn't smoke no more. But at any rate, yeah, nothing. I mean, I'll say it like this. If they say it's like altogether, I will have a drink. I'll drink a margarita. But I know my limit. That's just a cocktail. Sometimes I don't be hungry, and that's to boost my appetite up sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then maybe if I'm sitting around with my girl, I may have a glass of wine, but it's in moderation. It's not nothing that you do every single day, every weekend.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of times it's just try to calm my nerves, or my stomach. The Bible tells you to have a glass of wine for that stomach sake.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't want nothing controlling me. I got to be the controller. Yeah. So, but at any rate, it's a lot, I was reading the comments and what have you. And like I said, when I was talking about, I said that for some people, smoking is harder to get rid of than drugs. Well, I've heard a lot of people say that. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say it was harder doing. Well, I have a brother. My brother, that was his soul. My oldest brother. He died. My brother was using heroin. Okay, but he kicked on his own. With the help of God. Yeah. He was trying to do everything he could, but once your liver is destroyed, sometimes your liver can replenish itself, but his was destroyed too much. And he finally he kicked the habit. Well, he went home to live with my mother. Mother said, the only way you can live with me is you can't have no people, nobody coming by here, no drugs, none of that. And so he stayed, until God called him. But he did, like I said, he did kick the habit of heroin, but with the help of God. But anyways, it's like I say, and it's like a lot of people are thankful to God that none of my boys smoke. They don't smoke. They barely drink, but that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. And yeah, you see what smoking done to your father, and a lot of people, you don't even have to smoke. It's the second half smoke to get you. I remember
that's a fact.
One of our church members, she didn't smoke, but her husband smoked. She ended up dying of cancer. And he didn't.
Yeah.
And so smoking is a humdinger, for people that, don't really understand it. It is. It truly is. Yeah. But anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. And yeah, I called you earlier, and it went to voicemail. And then when I called you the second time, you were talking. I could hear you on one line, but then you were talking on the other line. So I don't know what's up. But I just thought I'd tell you that anyway. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
That was
I'm
strange.
going to let you go and have a blessed day. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
All
Take
right.
care. All right. Bye-bye.
All right. All right. All right. Can we gonna get on up out of here? After 4, it's time for me to break. But listen, thanks for calling in. I appreciate you calling in as usual. And please never hesitate to do it again and again and again and again and again. And thanks for the knowledge. Thanks for the info. Thanks for being here. You have anything you want to say before you get out of here?
Hey, just everybody needs to learn to be a little more responsible for their own health. I'm not saying you don't listen to what the doctor says, but you listen and then you learn and then you listen to yourself as well and learn.
Right.
That's it. Have a good one, everybody.
All righty. And that's going to do it. Okay. All right. Good stuff there. Good stuff there. Good stuff there. Good stuff there. All right, y'all. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do these birthday shout outs and then we're going to get up out of here. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious December 19th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are SPECIAL. We get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. We get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. We get the RESPECT. They get number 1 out the box. My girl Tashana Brown. Happy birthday to you, and Sylvester Hentley. Happy birthday. And also Sunshine Love More Champagne. Happy birthday. And Lori Gnarly Calise Adolph. Happy birthday to you. And also Yvette Jarman Harmon. And Tracy Lucas. And my cousin Opal McIntyre. And also Sharia Johnson. And Nikki Petty X. I'm sorry. No, it is. It's Nikki Petty X. And my girl Linda Carter. Happy birthday to you. And last but not least, Karima Azala Gray. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all a good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious December 19th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up. Actually, we were supposed to be doing the 18th. So let's do that. 18th. Anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, to rock out, rock on and do the damn, rock out, rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And I said, go hard, go for yours. And I don't know if we can really trust the docs, but you gotta trust somebody, even if your socks are dirty and your head is clean. You gotta make sure that you clean out the cobwebs on the scene. You know what I mean? You gotta get smarter. You gotta open up a book and take a good look, because you could be shook, wondering about your fate. Will you be here just as tomorrow or much later? Yo, I don't know if it's greater to really deal with the pharmaceutical or Actually, I know better. I ain't taking a bunch of pills, but if I have to, then best believe I will. But I need somebody that I can really trust, because I'm not trying to end up like some or the rest of us. I want to be here for a long time, but I want those years to be healthy, not just here on some crime filled shit. It's kind of criminal the way they doing people with their health. I just need to limit that shit that they are able to do, but they putting all of that pharmaceutical shit in you. Chemicals is being made in the lab, and now understand how they can do that shit and still laugh and enjoy life like they ain't ruining others. But I guess they figure you gotta die or something, my brother. But that's not the way I'm trying to have the outlook on life. I ain't trying to do that. I'm trying to have a wife. I'm trying to have kids. I'm trying to have a lot of life. I'm still trying to be positive. I know that one day we gotta go, but I ain't trying to push my due date up no farther, yo. And so I'ma sit back and I'ma take a look and I'ma find out who are the goods and who's the crooks. And I know that sometimes it might be politicians, they might be physicians, it might be somebody who don't listen to nothing that you gotta say. But hey, I'ma still say it in your ear, whether or not you hear or whether you choose to bang or bruise, we gonna still be here. And I'm not trying to lose. All right. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death, resuscitate y'all, and love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night with another daily Go Get 'Emism show. So make sure we, and everything's gonna be all right, man. Hit the like button. Share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. All right, so let me take off my uniform. Yes, I can get undressed and I can loosen up a little bit. Yeah, I'm feeling it. Pop that button. All right, and let me take your uniform off of y'all. Get these scrubs off of you. You can put your regular clothes on now. You know what I'm saying? Take those booties off your shoes. All right. Y'all have a good night. Like I said, peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. I love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night, 2 a.m. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Peace.